Hiding wealth from your children. If you became very wealthy and had children, how would your level of wealth impact their lives? Would you buy them newer and nicer things, give them the best education, different lifestyle, expensive and big house? Or would it be okay to hide your wealth until they are much older, like 30s, 40s, once they've established careers and found some way to contribute to the world? Generational wealth almost never makes it past the third generation, and there must be some way to break this. My 2 cents on this came from my grandma. She was not rich. But one Christmas out of the blue she gave my parents like $5,000. This was in the 80s and it was a really big amount for both of them. Her logic was that tomorrow isn't promised, she wanted to be there to see them enjoy it. She also wanted to give it to them when it could help the most. If she'd waited years, the impact that money would have on their lives would have been negligible. So if you want to give, do it early enough that it will have an impact and you'll get to see it. Why would you need to hide wealth from your children? Shaq told his kids, "You're not rich, I'm rich." If you don't want to pass on your wealth directly, I've seen people talk about setting up trusts. Something like, for every dollar you earn per year, I'll match it. If you go into something like teaching or social work, I'll double that match, so triple your salary, etc. Let them struggle, but guide them, make it so that even if you die, they get a well-developed character first and their inheritance in due time, and teach them to preserve family knowledge and history, so it does not fizzle away with the passing of the old. Teach them how to invest and start them in the early teens. For our boys, we gave them a $10,000 zero-interest loan seed money and coached them on investing. Both boys added funds they made by working over the years to the account, made solid stock choices. Matter of fact, 2 of their choices I copied in our portfolio. Both boys now have 6-figure portfolios and are still under 30. Now we can call the loan and I can buy some good beer or gift it to them the original $10,000. In ending, both boys knew never touch the principal funds, regularly add to the account and you have to manage it. Family office accountant here. Hiding wealth causes a ton of distrust in families and breaks them apart. The best way is to slowly drip information starting around 15-18 depending on the kid's maturity. Kids should know about wealth but not figures. One day my teenage son, after being raised rather modestly, said to me, "I'm beginning to think we might be rich." I think this was after a vacation or something. We're not rich, but we are multimillionaires. I didn't go out of my way to hide it, I just lived my values, which include frugality, waste not, want not. We've paid for college, but we've also made it clear they need to go out and earn their way, and they are. If you had a big house, and they went to a good school, so do all their friends and neighbors. They just think it's normal. Rich kids just think everyone is rich. Artificially lowering your lifestyle to try and trick your kids seems like an inauthentic way to live. You can be wealthy and not spoil your kids. Just teach them they have to work for what they want in life and are not entitled to anything. My uncle was a CEO and my cousins turned out fine. Depends. I grew up in poor family, but father had good job calls and made small fortune for me and my sister, just enough to be dependent on ourselves, but that wealth is gone now. Safely now I'm following his footsteps in savings and living within my means. Care to say I lived a good life and my parents always provided. I intend to do the same and more without spoiling my kids if I ever have them. Take it as motto, a well-fed dog is better than a hungry dog seeking attention of its owner. That mean give enough but not much to prevent spoilage. If you do it right, they will learn from it. When I started working, my dad sat me down and showed me everything. All their assets, what they made, what they put a fire under my ass. My parents were way more wealthy than I ever realized. He never told me what to do, just showed me what worked for him. Miss him. If I hide it, I will miss out tons of opportunities to teach my kid all I know about money and career development. That's a big problem, no? Generational wealth almost never makes it past the third generation, and there must be some way to break this. I don't believe this to be true unless you're talking about ridiculous amount of wealth territory. Trying to get your kid live a beat-down life is a horrible idea. My siblings and I wouldn't be anywhere near as successful as we are. Lowest among us makes 300k if our parents didn't put us into the best school districts, get the best tutorage, paid for all our university's expenses, etc. We lived frugal compared to our neighborhood and my kids' friends. I did put money into a 529 for their college and it worked out. They know how to take care of themselves and will be fine in life. I wonder sometimes if they subconsciously blame me for not having more as kids, but they do know the value of $1 and how to save. I would teach them the value of money at a young age. Make them do chores around the house to humble them. Make them get good grades and get rewarded with nice things. No handouts. If it is instilled at a young age, then it will be a powerful tool when they come of age. Money should not be hidden. The value of money should be taught and instilled at a young age to prevent them from being complacent, spoiled, or whatever label you want to use. I wouldn't hide it, but I lead by example, showing them that wealth is to be invested and not spent. Having an 8-figure portfolio doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a job that contributes to society. I'd rather live in a small house full of people than a big house full of empty rooms. You know what's important. Focus on that with your kids. Teach them wealth management. Give them the tools and keys. Teach them everything you can. They'll make their own money if you do. Don't hide wealth from your children. That is just a dick move. Be nice to them, take time educating them about everything. If you teach your kids investing early, there is no reason to believe they would squander the money away. Teach them the values that made you successful, and if they don't have the same success, it's okay. Dear son, daughter, you are indigent. You have no job, no income, and no savings to your name. You rely 100 on your mother and I for your existence in this world. On the other hand, your mother and I get along just fine. No need to deprive yourselves, and they'll get the hint. You need to stress that simply not ever being wasteful leads to excess and abundance. Preach LBIM, hard work, and humility. My parents are reasonably well off. They were extremely strict with money. I started working at 16 to pay for my car, insurance, and gas. I went to community college and then a state university. All while continuing to work either part or full-time. What I learned was how to save, invest, and the value of money, hard work. Now they are approaching retirement and have helped me and my siblings with any money needs as they want us to be happy, secure. Their reasoning is they can't take it to the grave and rather enjoy it with us now than when they are gone. Hiding your wealth from your kids is one of the reasons why the next generation ends up squandering the wealth, so please don't do that. You need to actually discuss money with them to educate them and prepare them for their large inheritance, otherwise they will most likely squander it. Also, a lot of second generations squander the family fortune before it can even reach the third generation. We are by no means wealthy, but we live comfortably. I grew up poor and I've humored pretending we are poor to my children to help instill values like not taking things for granted, making thoughtful purchases, frugality, etc. I'm going to probably hide some wealth but also make sure they have what they need to live well. I would absolutely give them the best possible healthcare and education that money can buy. But other than that, they are on their own materially speaking. I don't have kids, but if I did, I would hide it, except to help them pay for things like their first car, something safe but not luxurious, and trade school or college. I would spend the money on long-term care insurance for myself, to make sure that they don't have to become my caregiver later in life. Hiding it and therefore also punishing yourself is not helping anyone. You imply hiding the wealth will make the kids turn out better and you a better parent. No. They should be exposed to and enjoy the benefits of it. Otherwise there's no point in having it. But, it is your job to teach them values and responsibility. Even if you have domestic help, your kids should make their own bed every morning. They messed it, they make it up.